I didn't shimmy.
Your shimmy sucks. You're like the stiffest shimmy
Welcome
ever.
back, bitches.
Welcome back.
To Sunday Roast.
It's me shimmying like a goddess.
I bet that's something you didn't need to see, and you've just lost 3 seconds of your life.
Oh, you gained them. I don't know. How are you? I hope you're well. Oh my god.
I'll be surprised if there's still people watching up until this point.
I really will be. Back on a Ginny Jeans.
We are
At me ma's house, at me mum's house. Whoa, that was intense.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
All right. So who have we got this week? We've got
straight in.
Yeah.
You're gonna do like the whole call to action, like, oh my god, leave a comment.
Oh yeah, leave comments, like, subscribe. Is that how
we YouTube so much? Really,
we're professional YouTubers.
We're very professional. So introducing today our outfits. I look like sporty Spice, and Andrew looks like posh Spice. I
think I'm looking fly. Comment below if you agree.
Is my mic on? Am I recording me?
Oh, I'm not recording yet.
We should do that.
Oh, it's good too.
I know. I was gonna make it part of it and just watch you hit record and have a laugh.
I can still do that.
Well, follow us on the journey.
A journey, a quest.
A vision quest, if you will. Plug. We spoke at Vision Quest.
Let's press record on the app.
It's not working.
It's hashtag tentacle sync.
I do apologise for this, but also, no, I don't really care. just watch it.
The audio should be much better now.
Okay, hey, how's the audio now, everybody? Is it a bit better? Or I might not use it, I don't know.
The last episode we used, it was...
I wasn't stoked.
Yeah,
I was like, Andrew, why are we using onboard audio? This is not Bottlebrush.
Well, we live in a van, so, you know.
We need to stop. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
So this week we have Rory from RJ Visuals.
Rory!
He submitted a film. We're excited to review it. From RJ Visuals in Tasmania, Australia. Most people, especially the Americans watching this, won't even know that Tasmania is a state. Some people say it's still not.
I have a little email from Rory that I'm going to read you a couple lines from. Yeah, Rory, love what you're doing. Thanks, Rory. Love what you're doing. I've been doing this for only a few years, started in 2019 just before the pandemic, and have managed to grow the business quite well. That's fucking awesome. That's so good. Well done for making the pandemic like your bitch.
Work for you, yeah. Well done.
Yeah. Sick. All music that source music. We love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'm feeling peppy today. Let's get into it.
All right, shall we?
We shall. It's a long film. FYI, yes. 11 minutes.
Yep. So we're going to play through a bit of it.
Halfway, midway, we might have to play through a fair chunk of it just to play it out. So if we keep playing for 30 minutes, just, bear with us.
There have been so many times in our relationship where I thought, I'm going to marry this man one day. When you first said those 3 words to me, I longed to hear. You held my hands and looked in my eyes and said, I hate camping.
I remember the first time I watched this, I was like, that is so good.
We both laughed.
It's actually like really well executed, as if like that was going to be the opposite of what was said.
I laughed so hard.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. When we watched all the films first together, and we both laughed, and we were like, I did not see that coming, and you smashed it. I love that you chose a really intense song, really classic, beautiful shots, and then it was like the camping punchline, and I was like, yes.
But it's not even like cheesily executed. Like it just, as soon as you cut to them, it just says so much about, and the way she delivers that last line, it says so much about their relationship.
It says so much about the filmmaker / editor to be able to find the comedy and actually build it in like trick the audience with not just what they're going to say, but with the music choice and with the shot choice leading up to the punchline. Like, this is a really chill film. Oh, maybe it's not.
Yeah. And it's one thing to have that idea. It's another thing to execute it well. And it was executed really, really well.
It's actually hard to execute something like that.
Beautiful daylight shots, great compositions, slow movements, crossfades.
Yeah.
Leading into like, it just subverts expectations.
We love a crossfade.
Subverting expectations is a really great skill to have.
Yeah, 100%. It was fucking funny.
And I thought, I'm going to marry this man. Crushing it, killing it, smashing it. True legit, never quit, 100%.
Ooh.
Wrong camera.
Wrong camera. That was an interesting shot. I was like...
I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did.
I'm sorry.
Grace has had a few gins already.
I actually haven't. Maybe I have. Sorry, I was expecting
You
that.
had something to say.
I did, and I fucking can't remember. Back to the normal thing that we were doing. Yeah. Oh my god, you have to go. I'm done.
I don't know what you were going to say.
Okay, what I was about to say was awesome opening. The opening
Yeah.
was so good. Sorry, I'm still on the whole thing. The opening was awesome, and then like we cut to this like real rock and roll song, and I was like, oh, it was cool, but I was wanting so much more from it, like heaps more. Like, can we go back? Because I think we all need a refresher.
Sorry, this man.
Yeah, so I don't know the lyrics, like whatever's being said, sung, but like we've built up this intro really slow, like we've cut to the music perfectly and really like highlighted this whole slow vibe. Then we've had the joke, the punchline, and then we're going to launch into this big, like, you know, punchline's done, bang, let's have a laugh. And but the opening shot's really slow, and it is just like her and her dad, them be like dancing together.
Yeah.
But like this, the pace needed to be there. Like I wanted to launch into it. I wanted to be like dun 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 dun. And when I do this, I mean that's a cut. Like
cut.
dun. Like I really wanted to just go. Let's get into it.
Whereas it didn't go with the music. The new
it was like
track.
it opened with them dancing, and it was kind of like na, and it was just we're hanging on this shot of them kind of twirling each other, and it just wasn't what I wanted. So like next time I would probably just like really ream home the music, and I would like edit hard to it and really pull that song apart and go, where are the beats? Dun, dun, dun. Those are where our cuts are. Like, let's launch this puppy.
Yeah, it's like what we said on a few previous ones. You really got to pay attention to the music and take your editing cues from the music.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like what we said just before about this, like the opening was a great idea, but what was awesome about it was the execution.
Yeah.
Whereas the execution was... You're laughing because I'm not an editor.
I'm thinking of the shot. I just keep thinking back to this. I can't. It's in my head now. But yes, continue.
Yes, it's not... It nearly keeps up with the song. But
Nearly, but I'm going to roast here. I'm just going to go for it.
this is how we get better.
Sorry. It's too slow cut to the song. The song is a big song. You got to go full out on it. And then it's almost not the right shots either. Like we want to see them, like this punchline was really funny. I expect to then see all these kind of chaotic shots of them just to really amplify that comedy side of them as a couple, because they're obviously like funny.
You want to show off their sense of humor.
I want to show off their sense of humor, and I want to show off like
relationship.
them, the way they're dynamic together. So like if I was cutting this, I wouldn't change the opening. That's pristine. But on that song drop, that big rock and roll song, I would have tried to find really fun shots of them together. And I don't know if there's enough of that in this sequence. Like there is, we go to like the groom and the bridal party like with his groomsmen. Like I don't know if that would be something I'd put in there. Like it would just be shots of them as like an opener to draw you into this couple's personality.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So when you do like a kind of like opening like that, you've really got to back it up.
Yep. Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. Like maybe even that champagne shot there, like it was nearly there, but like it is a little too, like we want this champagne spraying. That footage might not exist though, in which case maybe this isn't for them. I don't know.
And what stands out for me about that is like, it is such a big song. What we see a lot of is like static frames.
Yeah, that's probably a big
static
one.
like cinematography going with big songs. And I get that you don't know if you're going to use a big song or a chill song or whatever, but that's why it's so important from on the day perspective, a cinematography perspective, to like get variety and like almost let what you're shooting dictate how you shoot it.
Yeah.
Like if it's a champagne shot, you're like, okay, this needs to have like a push. If it's like an intimate moment, it just needs to be like handheld and just let the moment sort of sing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is probably something I haven't even thought of. That's proper.
Because, maybe let's just go back on that a bit. Yeah, see even like the dance floor stuff there's a lot more movement.
Yes, that stuff was perfect.
But movement in camera, I mean, but the like during the day as well, it shouldn't be like camera movement and experimenting and trying new things shouldn't just be limited to dance floor stuff.
Yes.
Like, especially in the shoot, like you need to like, if you're going to use those shots, like at least like what you do in post, add a digital zoom or something.
Yeah, if Andrew shot static stuff that I think I want to use in a more upbeat sequence, I'll add a digital zoom to it, like nothing crazy, maybe like, 10%. But
you sometimes do like a whoosh zoom
into
a transition.
Yeah, I might crash zoom like in post
zoom,
just to kind of transition into the next shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess some of those shots were too locked off for that song and sequence. Maybe the shot choices were a little random, like them just standing solo locked off. I don't know if that was like just the right vibe.
Yeah.
It's a big one. Those songs are so big and you really got to back it up. So it's, you just got to put the time in and break down the song and really cut to it.
Yeah. It's just down to execution.
It's just a shot choice too, because I think you have the shots there. I think they are there because I can see them on the dance floor, that cool stuff that's going on.
Yep.
The bride's like having a good time. We're on this cool kind of Dutch angle and like that shit fits perfectly for me. So that's what you need more of.
And I think it's like a skill as well as like how much of a rapport you build with a couple before the wedding. You get a sense of like whether they're like have this sense of humour, so you already know to be looking for that sort of footage.
Yeah.
Not just at the end of the night, but during the day as well.
Yeah. I wonder, like, it's like, okay, like, yeah, as you get later into the night, obviously you're going to have, like, more freedom because people are more drunk, people like used to you and maybe having more fun with the camera, so then you do get naturally more experimental, but you're a big fan of like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So when to test those shots, it might be during some ceremony stuff or the getting ready. Like getting ready is probably a good time to experiment because that is really just a way to get your couple comfortable in the morning. So then you could just have some fun, and if it's not good, it doesn't matter. It's like you don't use a lot of getting ready shots anyway. Well, we don't.
Yeah, exactly. And I've always we use getting ready to like get them comfortable and like talk shit and just build a rapport and make sure that they're in the right mood. Like my whole approach is to amplify the vibe, match them at their level, and just make them as comfortable as possible, so I can get them at their natural best.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say?
I just keep thinking of the shot.
Hey?
I keep flashing back to the camera angle.
Stop it.
I'm sorry, Em.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
5.
Yeah, but like, I was going to say, like, I've always said that, and habits are the enemy of creativity from a filming perspective.
Yeah.
Like, just don't go through the motions. Like, sometimes it might be good to challenge yourself and go, hey, I'm going to shoot part of this couple's portrait session like I would a dance floor.
Yeah.
And get them dancing and do some stuff and just go handheld and shoot it the way you would there.
So that's what you're saying, Rory?
And
is
the opposite.
that would be your tip?
Yeah, and maybe even the opposite. Shoot dance floor with really beautiful static compositions and just let the action happen within it.
Yeah.
You got to really challenge yourself. Like if you always use like one lens for a certain part of the day, try and mix it up and do different.
Yeah.
Do the opposite and see what happens. Like push yourself outside of your comfort zone and your habits.
Yeah.
I think is really important.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's good advice.
Megan Farron, I'm honoured to be marrying you today in front of my family and friends.
We kind of missed the transition there, didn't we?
Did we?
Let's scale back a bit.
Scroll back a bit. That was cool. That cut was really cool. That was awesome. I like how you finished the song like on, I think it was a clap noise or it was a sharp beat, and then you cut to black from that really cool range shot. That was great. I reckon that's a cool way to transition out a song like that.
Really well
and ease us
executed.
into the next thing. Yeah, that is cool. Good transition.
And we haven't said that about many films that we've
No, can you tell I'm like a transition crazy person? Like I seriously, they need to be well done. There's a hole in the knowledge for the transitions, but not with you. You're good, Rory.
You have nothing to say. You're like, well done.
I have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Megan Farron, I'm honoured to be marrying you today in front of my family and friends. When I look back at our meeting, our Tasmanian meeting, a Queenslander through mutual friends in London, seems like slimmer odds than someone telling me that I'd go on to see Richmond win 3 premierships. Miracles happen, and I'm so thankful that our...
kind of like wanted like him to cut back to the groom saying miracles happen.
Yeah, he might not have that
It's
shot.
like splitting hairs. No, well,
I agree. I want to see him saying the Richmond line, but does he have the shot? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't.
but even if he doesn't say the Richmond line, like cut back to the groom for miracles happen.
Oh yeah,
And
like
then
just a
back to the
montage shot
bride-
from
the
somewhere
bride.
else.
No, back to the groom saying that shot because he hangs on the bride a little bit too long. Then I think.
Yeah, fair.
Should we scale?
Yeah, scrub back a bit. I need to.
And win 3 premierships. Miracles happen. And I'm so thankful that our chance meeting happened that evening.
It's just like the timing
Yeah.
of when you cut back and forth between them.
Yeah.
When everyone starts out, everyone chooses to cut at the end of a sentence, but you can sort of go
Midway.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. And it could be something as basic as like maybe the camera got knocked then and you didn't want to use it. That's a hack.
We
of
don't know
mine.
this, but
we
yeah.
don't know what you've got on the cutting floor. But yeah, if you had the right footage, I would have cut there.
Yeah, it's just like little things that could like be tightened up and finessed a bit.
Yeah, someone's saying something really emotional and specific like that. It's nice to have them on screen as well.
Yeah.
Like splitting hairs.
That's what we roast.
John, you are my best friend, greatest love story, my favourite good morning and good night. I'm so honoured to be marrying you in front of our friends and family.
Honestly, Farron, I couldn't ask for a better friend. You light up everyone's life with your presence.
There's obviously a few audio issues there. We don't really need to say anything else about that. Like it's obviously like
Well, be
not
specific.
not a perfect line out audio feed.
Yeah, maybe.
There's a lot of ambient in that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing onboard audio, but that's fine.
Yeah.
It happens. Shit happens.
Oh man.
It's a live
If
event.
we have fucked up one thing over the years, it is and always will be audio.
And you feel so loved and supported. You are incredibly kind-hearted with an insane passion for life. Truth is, everybody in this room is better off for knowing you. I'm so incredibly happy to stand by as you.
I'm going to start pressing spacebar to pause it before I switch to us.
Andrew's like keeps switching and being like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm like, get it together, man.
What were you going to say about that?
Fuck. I was going to say I really love the reaction, showing the reaction of the bride and groom getting emotional there. Like that stuff's gold to me, like little pots of gold. I want to include that. That's really cool. The shots I don't like so much are probably, and this is definitely down to personal taste, but I don't like anything too set up. So I think like with the bouquets set up in a row there, that's not like a shot that I would usually use. Why? It's a little staged. It kind of takes me out of the film. Like it is a little like 2005 for me. Like it is very like, very classic. And if you're going to do a shot like that, like if you're going to get cutaways of like stuff very much staged, like details set up and stuff, like, the dress hanging up and stuff. One, it is a little old school. And two, it is like, I would want to shoot it in a way that is a bit more modern. Like maybe I want to get a gimbal and push in on it and do something cool with it or rotate around it. Maybe there's a specific reason I'm showing it. Like, is it more of a detailed sequence, like to show setup of reception?
Yeah.
But this is, people have a lot of different opinions on this. To me, it's like,
Yeah, it's divisive.
I don't need to see the dress hanging up. It tells me nothing. I would rather see it on her and I would rather shoot it moving and her flowing it around, like see the movement of the fabric rather than it just hanging and looking a little like outdated. Not the dress, the shot. The dress is beautiful. And same with like the bouquets. Like, I'd rather have a close up of someone walking with it and seeing the flowers move and stuff than having it static. So this is just personal preference.
Yeah, that's right. Like again, no right or wrong.
No.
For me, when you've sort of favoured like that stuff, not favoured that stuff, I've always thought like people over things is like the guiding principle.
Things.
Like at
Unless
the end of the
it's
day,
very heavily styled but
at the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, what do you care about? People or things? Like, you know what I mean? Like
things. My ring, my clothing.
Marry the love of your life.
JB, I really appreciate our friendship, the time we had in our youth, the time we had abroad and the time we've had more recently, getting excited about our lawns. These have been amongst some of the most enjoyable times in my life, and none of it would be the same without you.
One thing I will say is, like, why is there a shot of him with his hands on his jacket there, in between him, his mate talking about, you know, enjoying their lawns? Like, I kind of feel like the way this can be elevated in general is intentionality, in terms of, like, not just shoving bits of overlay in there, but choosing them for a specific reason.
This is
it
the
could
battle.
even be like, instead of that, it could be a shot of the two of those guys together, like a little bit of banter or like a bit of this or that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I definitely do. But this, I think this
Stuff
is
that serves the story.
Yeah, but this is an 11-minute film. So this is the battle with a film
true.
of this length. Like, you do start to get, like, a little more, well, maybe I'm scraping a bit more for footage.
Yep.
So I really need to, you really still need to try to be intentional about the shots you use. But it's hard with that length, like, you know.
Yeah, it is. And we're not saying, like, and with live events, nothing's
Gosh, Andrew,
perfect.
don't be so mean.
Fuck.
From the moment I saw you in Nero House, I've been drawn to your cheeky grin and beautiful eyes. Then I learnt about the gentle, caring Teddy behind the...
I just said, like, that it wasn't intentional use of overlay, but that little bit sequence there was the complete opposite.
I want that
I
dog.
love the way that he's used that.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Talking about into your eyes and stuff, and he's staring at the dog's eyes. That, not even in a funny way, that's beautiful.
I know, he's so cute.
That's so nice. That's so well done.
Yeah, it is, it is.
That was sick. Anyway.
tough alpha exterior and fall for that more and more each day. You have many qualities that I adore. You're cheeky, passionate, generous, loving, and honest. Above all, my favorite quality is your effortless ability to show up, back, and support me in every aspect of our life. I love how brave you are, enough to ground me and say the things I don't want to hear.
I really like that little sequence on even like a personal level. I resonate with that because you can tell he doesn't love getting compliments.
Yeah.
From his reaction shot,
100%.
which I think is really beautiful as well. And it's really well done to sort of hero that.
Yeah.
I just like his reaction. It wasn't just like him beaming. He was a little bit like awkward and shuffling, but it tells you so much about his character.
Yeah, and this is why it is nice to have a film of this length, because you can hang on that stuff and, you know, even then, like the different angles of the vows, like you got to see him, her, and then the wide shot of them both, and that's like, I love that. Like, I do like when you can let that stuff sit for a little bit and like have just, this is the reality of the wedding day rather than all this kind of crazy editing. So
it doesn't need like super crazy production value to be meaningful and have gravity and resonate with people.
Yeah, and you know, it doesn't really matter. Like, the words can be like basic to us. Not that I'm saying these vows are basic, they're beautiful. But if they were more generic, say, it doesn't, we all kind of get caught up like, oh, it wasn't anything like super unique. And I'm like, no, but it is unique to them. And it is their wedding day. And like every time it's going to be unique to them. Yeah. So you can really champion any moment because it's theirs. It doesn't have to be outlandishly original and crazy to be valuable.
I just think that in particular is really well done because sometimes it's harder to show restraint than it is to like pile a heap of shit in.
Yeah, dead set.
Yeah.
From day dot, no matter which state or country we lived in, I've always felt loved, safe, and at home with you.
As I've grown to know you, I'm so happy that I've found my person, my best friend and my biggest supporter. You have so many qualities.
I want to ask you a question about that, like the little stumble in his voice, like my person.
Can we replay?
Yeah.
Just so I can.
Don't want to hear. From day dot, no matter which state or country we lived in, I've always felt loved, safe, and at home with you.
As I've grown to know you, I'm so happy that I've found my person, my best friend and my biggest supporter. You have so many qualities that I adore.
I'm probably making a bigger deal of it than it needs to be, but I just find it like interesting whether people choose to smooth out those imperfections in people's like voices and the things they say, or choose to leave them in.
I
You know what I mean?
probably would have fixed it up.
Yeah.
Is my gut instinct. I do that a lot. heaps, unless it's got emotional context. So if someone is really emotional, and maybe he was, but like, I'm not explaining this well. If
But we didn't see that on screen.
yeah, if someone stutters a lot and like, you know, honestly, nearly everyone does at some stage, they'll kind of trip over a few words and stuff. I tend to clean that up and really get it succinct. But unless it's a really emotional moment and like the stutter is really endearing, which maybe his was, I actually think his was, but as you said, it needs to be on screen for us to attach ourselves to it, because it is more...
To show the gravity of him expressing himself.
Yeah, like it is a big moment and he's a little like... This is a big deal, like, which is really cute and like lovely. So I probably would have put that on screen, or I would have cut it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're incredibly kind, caring, loving, and the person who I can always trust to be on my team.
I really like that
nice
as a composition.
shot. Yeah, that was... I don't think I've ever seen a
That's
reveal
super cool.
with that kind of composition. That was really nice.
Yeah.
I felt like it was like a bit of a moment.
That was really well done.
Yeah, that was nice. A perfect little shot there. All of it was like in its thirds and
playing it out in real time as well, I think is a really great choice.
yeah, with the ambient audio as well. I do like that you're using a lot of ambient audio, like to make these moments real and to bring us into like the day and the story. It's really nice.
And the easier option is definitely to not.
Yeah, it is hard at work, especially when you come to mixing the audio. I think the audio mix is actually quite good. Do you know what? That's something we really haven't commented on.
Yep.
Because I haven't noticed it, because it's good. So if it's bad, I would have commented on it by now because it would stick out. Nothing's really stuck out in a good way. So your audio mix is good.
That's something that we criticise a lot of people on.
We do.
And this is like really well done.
Yeah.
That's really good camera coverage of that one too.
It is.
Yeah, you're laughing because I actually
I'm sorry, I'm
the camera.
fucking child.
That coverage of that first look is really, really good, like in terms of the variety of shots. And I don't know whether it's a 4K punch in or not, but whatever is done there is great.
Yeah, it's really well done. I will say as well, like the mix is really good, and just the timing of it. Like we had the ambient audio of her like looking, you know, talking to Bubs there, and then when we came to the next shot, which is a bit more slow mode, like that ambient audio slowly faded out under the next shot. So it actually mixed really well and timed really well in that regard.
Definitely strength.
Yeah,
strength.
it is, because it is seamless, and I'm just trying to take notice of it now.
The other thing I've noticed as well is like the use of close-ups. Like not many people use and shoot close-ups that effectively, and he's actually mixing up his frame sizes really well, which I think is great.
Yeah. You get in trouble when you don't do that.
Yeah, I think he's like erring on the side of tight rather than wide. Like I can't remember seeing too many like full-length head-to-toe shots.
We're still early in the day though.
Yeah, but I really like the like variety of camera shots.
Yeah.
For Megan and John getting married.
You want to care to comment on the transition?
I do care to comment on the transition. It wasn't actually, you know, it was about halfway for me. Maybe a bit more than halfway. Maybe it was like 70% there.
Yeah.
I'll watch it again.
For me.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
Is that why? Are the two songs too different?
No, the songs match fine. I think maybe it is just... Yeah, I think I rarely
Do you think it draws too much attention to itself?
Yeah, it does. I think maybe I rarely do things where it just dips to black, nothing, and then new section without a reason. So usually there is some kind of audio to carry it over.
So the stuff that I see you use all the time is like you're either using your overlay between the two different songs to link it, using a speech to link it,
Yeah,
Or
not
you-
always.
Yeah, but
I do drop to black.
You do these things to make it so it's not a jarring transition.
Yeah, you want to draw attention to the fact that you're transitioning. Does that make sense? So when you just fade to black,
Even
and
when
then
you're
we
doing it bluntly.
yeah, and then when we fade in from black to another scene with a different song, like that's yeah, you can do it, but like it doesn't. You notice it, and it's not a good thing. So I think you probably wanted to put some. Maybe that would be a good section just to bring in a new speech or something, just to ease us into like fade to black, start a new speech, and then fade in, and we carry on or something.
With the same speech.
No, could be a new speech, could be anything.
Okay.
I just, it wasn't a bad transition, but I think you probably could have done a bit more just to kind of push it, keep the flow going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Megan and John getting married is the ultimate commitment they can make to each other. And they're delighted.
Yeah, so that speech right there, that would have started in the transition for me. Fade to black, start that speech, and then we come into the ceremony setups.
Yeah.
Delighted to be able to share this very special milestone in their lives with those who mean the most to them.
Well, you looked me in the eyes and you said it, and your face can say it all, so I know.
I like the song, but where are we at we're a fair way through the film now, and we opened with this slow song and the joke, and then we had this really big party song, and then we've gone back to emotional, and we're still on emotional, and it's
About
just
halfway through the film.
we're about halfway through the film, and there's just nothing. It's still the same tone.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm glazing over a little. Like it is starting to get a little same with it all for me.
And that's the challenge with longer films. How do you sustain it?
Yes, and I do think maybe the song could have picked up a little here. Like maybe we could have got something a bit more like with a slight beat, just to give us a bit more going on.
So you think it's showing signs of like padding?
Yeah, a little. It does
stretching
have
it out a bit?
signs of padding. I
you
like
know.
that. I think that sounds good.
Yeah, and
That is what it is
It is
for
harsh,
me.
but that's how we improve. Like.
Yeah, it is. Like he has to say this to me because I don't like being mean, but I'm really good at it. Because I've been there, man. It took me 10 years to get to where I am. I've been there. Like I know how hard it
Yeah.
is to get better and better with editing and storytelling. You never stop learning.
Should we play through a bit of this?
Yeah, let's just play.
You meant it. And if I lose my way, will I know where to find you? Will I know where to find you? Then I looked you in the eyes with the promise.
Megan, I promise to you to love you, even during football season, to respect and support you, to try and be patient with you, to work together with you to achieve our goals, and to accept you unconditionally, to be your best friend and to share my life with you forever.
Thank you, John.
Nailed it.
John, my vow to you is I promise to laugh with you, I promise to cry with you, I promise to love you, even during football season. I promise to listen to you, to show up for you, to let you know when you still have toothpaste on your face. I promise to wake you up when you've fallen asleep on the white pillows with your glasses on. But most of all, I promise to always love you, honey kitten.
Megan and Honey Kitten. The moment you've all been waiting for has arrived. Megan and John, it now gives me huge pleasure to pronounce you husband and wife. You might like to share that. Yeah, go.
I think like this whole like ceremony sequence is obviously, it's not like I don't hate it. Like it's really nicely handled and sensitively cut.
Yeah.
I really like the shot of the like him as she was coming down the aisle, and you see the best man looking at him and like smiling and stuff. That's really beautiful. One thing from a cinematography perspective that I'll say, like his coverage is obviously really good and in depth for the amount of angles that he gets for ceremony coverage. One thing I will say to that though is that the two single shots, like bride and groom single shot and the two shot of the shot down the aisle are all very similar frame sizes.
Yeah.
Which doesn't necessarily cut together well. And so coming from like a TV background, I think straight away I'm like, okay, you've got to make those you can make the two singles match in terms of frame size,
Yeah.
but you've got to make them significantly different to the two shots straight down the aisle
Yeah, agreed.
for it to cut well together.
Yeah, agreed.
So I would make the bride shot and the groom shot both a bit tighter.
Yeah,
and,
I would like
and
them
the two
tighter.
shot straight down the aisle a bit wider, so you see them head to toe.
Yeah, and you get more of the crowd in and a bit more like location.
Because that will
background.
cut together better.
Yes.
Because you notice they're cut off sort of at the knee for the two shot.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
then-
a big no-no also.
And they're not sort of a mid shot, not a tight shot. They're a little bit loose for the reaction shots, the single shots of the bride and groom.
Yeah, I think.
So I think that's an easier area to improve in.
Yeah. Also, like there is just like it's a rule of when you are of editing and stuff. Like never cut someone off at a limb joint. So you never want to cut someone off at the elbows. Like you wouldn't want me sitting here like this. See how weird that looks compared to me sitting like this.
Yeah.
Saying you never want to cut someone off at the knees. Like
Yeah.
always like mid thigh or mid shin or something. Like so never on a joint. It's just your go to. So never like here either.
Yeah. But yeah, again, easy thing to fix. It's not a problem, but you know, it's something that can be improved upon easily.
Dark of the night, follow the light, come back home. In the dark of the night, follow the light, come back home.
Transition, give me a rating out of 10.
I actually
I thought that was pretty
that
good.
one actually worked for me. I don't know why. Maybe it was quicker. That one worked for me. I mean, it's nothing
was
to
seamless.
write home about,
It was
but it was
smooth.
like a
It was
7.
smooth.
It was smooth.
It went down nicely.
Yeah, I was not going to pause it because I was like, it worked.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well done.
Megan, you look amazing. You look like the little princess you wanted to be, and I'm so very proud of you. As a little girl and as a teenager, if you set your mind to do something, you would do it. John.
I think from a shooting perspective as well, he covers his speeches really well.
Yeah, for sure.
The reaction shot of the bride and groom is like frontal. It's really good. The only thing I would say is that, say I'm the bride and groom, Grace is the speech giver, you're going to want your camera over there shooting me because I'm looking this way. Mm-hmm. So you get less of like this profiled and more of sort of frontal.
Yeah.
And like you want the shot of you coming from this side shooting this way so that you get less profile, because you'll notice the mother speaking now is quite profiled like this.
Yeah, okay.
Side on. Bit too side on for my liking, and again that's splitting hairs. But I always think about where I set up the speech camera in terms of the direction they're going to be looking towards the couple.
This gives me so much insight into you because I'm like, he just films. He's just good at it. I'm like, you think about things
I
and
do
know
think about
things.
things. And I rarely get a reaction shot, but I always think about the direction that the bride and groom will be looking, and
Yeah.
the direction that the speech giver will be looking,
Yeah.
and shoot and position tripods accordingly, because you don't want to shoot front on when you know they're going to be looking over there at the the couple. You know what I mean?
I do.
Thank you for loving my little girl and also welcoming me into your lives. I want you to reflect on this beautiful day and nurture the love you feel and you share. Don't take it for granted. Learn to forgive when you're not perfect, and know you can't always be right.
Ray, I speak on behalf of JB and myself when I say thank you for liking each other. It definitely makes footy season easier. It's been great to see you two develop your relationship with each other.
I really like that scaling up a couple. That's
Yeah.
not what, like, it's so rarely done and it's so effective, especially with this sort of style of a sequence in a cut.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It adds so much production value to like a shot.
Yeah, it
And
does.
so few people do just like a slight scaling up or scaling down.
Was that in camera?
That was in camera. You
Yeah.
watch this, I'll play it back.
Part of JB's life, but also mine and Sal's.
You guys work so well together and have achieved so much, from living overseas, buying a house, raising a puppy, a university degree, and in John's words, probably the most important, a club presidency. It is clear to everyone that you are each other's biggest support.
So just gonna put it out there. I hate iPhones in footage. No,
I shoot that stuff.
have you once seen me use it?
You used to. You used to. I reckon
never.
I reckon you've used it in our films before.
Oh, I reckon
Frame within a frame.
I've fucking never.
Oh.
There's no way. Sorry. So this is my thing. I have nothing against technology. I don't care if there's phones in the way during when someone's coming down the aisle, like whatever, shit happens. But I don't know. It just.
You see me shoot that though.
You shoot it every wedding, and I'm like, mate, I'm never going to use that phone shot. Stop shooting it. I don't know why, but it cheapens it for me. I cannot explain why, but seeing an iPhone
Do you reckon that takes you out of the moment?
It takes me out of the moment. Like it's like technology within technology. It's like I don't want to see it. Like I'm aware that phones exist and they're at weddings and people are taking photos. Do I need to see it? Probably not. Like
Fair enough.
I'm very like.
Tell us what you think in comments.
Yes, comment. How you feel about putting iPhone footage like being filmed in a film.
Supporters, and I can't wait to see what the future brings you.
Megan, welcome to our family. You're fitted in so well with your always friendly.
Again, I think like the shots of like the venue there don't really serve the story.
No, they're filler.
Yeah.
They're filler.
Anyway, that's all we need to say.
Bubbly personality. Toby and Annie have quickly grown to love you and always look forward to spending time with you and Uncle Snork. Today we have a new daughter-in-law, and Sue and I wish them every happiness for their journey together.
These two bring so much fire and fun into their relationship, their friendships, and every room they walk into, and not just because of John's hair. They're so loved, and that's just so evident from looking around this room tonight. For the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Bale. It's gonna be a good time.
I love how you now just pause on every transition to see if I'm like cool with it or I roast it.
I paused awkwardly in that, so apologies for the playback issue. But yeah, what do you reckon? I like the cut of the opening bit of when the song kicks in. He's like punched in and out of that same frame to accentuate it. Like, so a lot of people go, it needs to be a new shot, but he's actually gone good, good, good on the same shot, which is really cool.
yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Didn't you?
I need to
Let's
see
play
it
that
again.
back.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 on that.
Yeah, that's good. Like, a lot of people wouldn't think to do that.
I'm going to pick on music again because that's what I do. This song, it doesn't belong here, man.
Why?
It is completely opposite to the rest of the music. I know we had it in the opening.
Yeah.
I think it's the same song as the opening, but...
And again, this is probably the challenge of long edits.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's just that they're not rock and roll enough. It's too classic a wedding to have that kind of real gritty, you know, rock and roll femme sound. Like it's just not working. It's just an issue there for me.
What would you do differently? What would you choose instead?
I mean, there's plenty of upbeat songs that would suit that, their style and the music that's come before it better. Like again, upbeat acoustic, maybe a bit more upbeat pop, not rock.
Yep.
You know, rock is pretty specific. Like if you're gonna have rock, you really gotta fucking pull it off. And you can't just put rock with what we just heard. Maybe you can, but in my brain, no.
Yep.
So I just think I love the song, but maybe if it had been continued throughout the edit more, like we had it in the intro and then we've maybe had like, I don't know how long it went
so you
for.
call back to the same song.
Well, I don't know, but we probably needed more upbeat music throughout to lead into this song. Like we can't have really, really low, really slow romantic music the whole way and then just throw in rock
I think
at
that's
the start and end.
Yeah, I think that's the challenge for a lot of people, right? Is that like they try and do like meaningful, heartfelt music followed by party music, and it just feels like two different films that are jammed together.
Yeah, I think so. Like I like the song, I like all the music, but does it belong together? Probably not. Like I think work maybe just cull through your music a little more and be really conscious about how you match those songs together.
Can you give people tips on how you would match two songs together if you wanted to do something like heartfelt followed by a little bit of fun? Would you go like not as hard out, not as contrasty?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, not as contrasty. Like it doesn't need to be like full rock and roll. Like I think
Complete opposites is a bad thing.
Complete opposites is probably not good. Like you probably want to check your genres. Like you want to go, if you're going really cinematic, very romantic music, going to rock and roll, that it's probably just a no-no, right? So you probably want to go, as I said, to pop music or upbeat acoustic.
Yeah.
Like something that still is more wholesome but has a beat.
Yeah, okay.
So I just because we want a party song doesn't mean to find that we need to go to rock and roll or even pop. Like you know, there's plenty of acoustic indie tracks that are upbeat and beautiful and you know have a lot of meat to edit too. So yeah, I think it's a little too like sharp, the song difference, but like it still works. And like I don't know, maybe if there was, maybe I know we just had a really long period there, like minutes and minutes going by with really relaxed, quiet music.
Ambient cinematic, yeah.
Ambient cinematic, that was a good way of putting it. Maybe if one of those songs had been changed to a bit more of an upbeat acoustic track, and then we brought in the rock and roll, like if we eased into it and built, you know, levels up from the slow song. Yeah, it's just about transitioning your music, and that comes in when you pick the music, not when you transition in your edit.
Yeah, hopefully that makes sense.
Maybe?
I know what you're going to say.
Do you?
Can I guess what you're going to say?
You can try, but it's probably not it.
Oh, okay.
Go.
I thought you were going to say that the song is increasing in pace, but the editing's slowed down.
I wasn't even remotely what I was going to say. I was
Okay.
just going to come back to my previous point.
Yeah, go.
And I was going to say, when this song plays, I expect like tats and Dutch angles and like, you know, all this, you know, a certain kind of person, not to pigeonhole, but like, you know, that is like the vibe that I would give to a more, you know, rock and roll couple.
Yep.
These guys I wouldn't call rock and roll. Like they're awesome and like they're fun and like there's plenty of awesome stuff going on, but this is just not their genre for me.
So you reckon there's like, it's kind of like preconceiving, I'm going to do a fun party sequence
Here's a rock and
without
roll
it necessarily being a fun party sequence kind of couple?
Yes. No, I think they will. No, every couple has a fun party sequence. Even the most like, you know, reserved people will have a little fun party sequence.
Yep.
But yeah, there's levels to it. Are they full out? Are they like, you know, rock and roll, smashing
Are they getting
shoeies?
naked on the dance floor?
Yeah.
Are they like doing these ones?
Or is it more like relaxed and like they're having a good time, and do we need to bring the music down with them?
Yep.
Not down in a bad way, like in a good way,
But just
like
to meet
match
them at
their
their
vibe.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just troll through your party songs, like, you know, create some playlists, like really section off your genres so that you've got a lot to pick between. Like I've got playlists that are like ones like Swagger, which is really like ballsy, like songs like this, like really ballsy swagger songs that only really like very ballsy cool people can pull off. You know, that kind of person who probably works the camera a lot, those kinds of people. I've got playlists that, you know, really unique, quirky tunes, like really different sounds that would suit more of a kind of quirky couple.
Yeah.
Romantic tunes, maybe just like cull through your music wherever you're sourcing it and create playlists and really wrap your head around the different genres that you've got to play with and just put a little more time in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool, from the lights down to the dance floor. This is like, I think this is your cinematography.
No, like obviously great shot, but it's how you use it in the edit as well. And I think both of those things are really good.
Yeah, it was awesome. And like, you know, it is like you've kind of got two styles going on here, and I see all this experimental cool stuff, but if you know, maybe, I would say you need a bit more of it. Like it's such a cool shot and such a cool style. Like that's where your uniqueness is. Like that's really cool stuff. So I would want to see more of that and less of the static shots on the dance floor and more of this awesome shit you're doing.
Yeah, there's lots of good stuff there. Even like the shot of the like lights going and their feet, like that shot. But the only thing is like probably held on it a bit too long.
Yeah, and just too static. Like, you know, I would just get some movement going.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to move your camera. I really like that. Like the punch, punch, punch. Like that's paying attention to the song.
It is.
I just think it needs to have more consistency through the whole edit.
It does.
Because there's a bits where you can go, okay, he's like really paid attention to the song, and there's bits where it's just like he's got a bit fatigued.
Yeah, and that's how that just comes down to how good you are at breaking down your music. Like when you get a song, listening to it and going, is this good for editing?
It's how much time you put into it.
It's how much time you put into it,
Yeah.
and like, you know, does this song have cool little bits that I can really do creative cuts to, like, you know, breaking down a song before you pick it and things like that. But yeah, I mean, you obviously are picking up on like cool beats and cool sounds like the ha ha, and you're punching in. That's like really good stuff. Like that's when you elevate your edit.
Yeah, and again, being pretty like blunt and brutal, but this is how to improve.
Roast is the key word in this thing.
If you are thinking of sending a film into Sunday Roast and you have a fragile ego like me,
do not do it.
Don't do it. Yeah. It was really good.
So where did all this amazing
That's sick.
cutting just came in at the end? That was great.
That's good because like one of the things we criticise a lot of people on is like pacing of an edit.
Yeah.
Like people go at the same pace the whole way through, even if it's like a big song or a slow song. They just don't have any change to the pace.
Yes.
That was a significant change of pace, which
That was like
really good and really impressive.
Really cutting to the music.
Yeah.
That I don't know if we can go back to it. There's really fast
go
cuts
back
that
to
were
it.
like perfectly timed. Where are they?
We got invested.
Scrub back a fair bit. Yeah. Come on, Andrew, switch back.
That was sick.
That was sick. That was really good. That is what I wanted to see when I was talking in the beginning about that after the emotional opening and we dropped to the rock and roll song and the fast-paced cuts. What you did at the end there is what I wanted in the beginning, like the bang, 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 like really conscious of the music and the beat.
After that first punchline at the start of the film.
Yes, that's what I wanted. So what you've done in the ending needs to be also pushed up to the front. But that's sick. That was really cool.
And by what you wanted, you don't mean necessarily that pace, just like following the song.
What?
By saying you that's what you wanted at the start of the film after the punchline. You wanted him to go with the music.
Yeah.
Not necessarily cut at that pace, but go with the music.
Well, yeah. The beats are different at the start, but like the way you cut to the beat, then like da 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 da.
Yeah.
Like I wanted that.
That was really freaking good
too, because it was so good.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say is basically I know that you can edit that to that degree the whole time. So you clearly have the skill. You know the beats. You understand how a song works. Bang, 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 bang. Like you can do it. So the challenge for you now is to maintain and put that throughout your entire edit.
Yeah.
Because you can do it, because I know you can.
Yeah, and I know Rory said at the start that his business is going really well, especially for how like new he is into the game.
Yeah.
The thing that I will say about this is that like when we all started out, and when we started out, we booked too many weddings and didn't have enough time to spend on the edits to what we wanted to for the amount of weddings we were doing per year, because we weren't charging enough. So I don't know where he's at. He's probably smarter than we were, or than I was.
Many are.
But you got to think about this. Like putting more time into an edit means that you need to charge more, just for the fact that there's only 52 weeks in a year, and if you're spending a week or two on an edit, that tells you straight away how many edits you can do a year.
Yeah.
How long you're spending on edit, how long you like want to have a work-life balance. Anyway, tangent, whatever. Just something to think about. This is all really good. There's like really nice movement. It doesn't even have to be excessive movement of camera for these shots. What I would say is like one thing I like to do is put one foot in front of the other and like lean back and forward with camera.
Yeah, you do that a lot. No, you do these ones. Like
But
you
especially like I'm shooting Sony A7S III and the autofocus is so good now, even in low light. So you don't even have to like rack focus as you go in and out. You can just like literally do these and it'll, carry it. Like it doesn't have to be excessive movement either, like the subtle movements.
Yeah.
And it's like handheld. I think he's, really, really good. That was like an 11-minute film, wasn't it?
That was a huge film.
Exactly 11 minutes.
Wow. Whoa, I
All
like
right.
the specificness to finishing
Yeah.
exactly on 11. Probably what I would do.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, that's cool.
I know we ripped it to shreds, but there's a lot to like about that.
There's a lot to like about that. There's heaps. And I just think like it's, you know, a big one to bite off, like 11 minutes. Like I've done 10-minute, 11-minute films before and they take me so long.
Yeah.
And to maintain the style throughout is incredibly challenging. So
Yeah.
the cat's off to you. I'm sure the couple was stoked with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't be stoked with that.
No, exactly. I think like, you know, the middle section, that 5 minutes in the middle there, like it got a little too chill, and I think maybe you could challenge yourself next time to pick another little slightly more upbeat song just to give yourself a little more to edit to, and a little more like, fucking let's pick this up a slight notch, so your audience just kind of goes, oh, we've changed tones, let's kind of keep going with this. But there's like really nice cinematography, lots of good shit. Opening was fucking awesome. Your ending, like I feel like you got into it more as well, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lots to
on the
love.
whole, especially like for early in your career, that's an
How
incredible
early is he
film.
in his career?
He started during COVID.
Yeah, that's actually, I forgot that. I'm being
You're
so
insane.
hypercritical of you. So your film is really fucking good for where you considering you've just started.
Yeah.
God, I'm like critiquing you like you've been doing it for ages.
There's
So
a lot
I
to
would be
like.
stoked with that.
There's so much to build on. That's way better than what we would have been producing at that stage of our career.
Yeah, I reckon the first 5 years for us was just like,
Bravo. Thanks for roasting.
thanks for letting us roast you and thanks for submitting, Rory. Stoked, mate. Shit, we'll talk to you soon. We'll talk to all of you soon.
Is that how we're ending it?
That's how we're ending it.
Press stop.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.